Hey there, thanks for tuning in to another weekly update. I think this one is more of a bi weekly update or a week and a half update. It's been a very busy time around here. We've been doing a lot of visiting with friends and traveling around, so I appreciate the patience and the grace with me posting this update, and hopefully you enjoy it. So I think last I left off, we were in Long Eddy, and we still have a lot to show from there. So let's get started. So here is from the Bushu Trail, which I will be posting a hiking video from there. Beautiful trail, and we did get a nice sunset with that trail, so I will show more of that later. But here is just some more of my uncle's property, which I think I said it was 900 acres, and it's actually only 200 acres. So still plenty of land, but not quite 900 acres. So we only explored just a little smidge of his property, but there's lots and lots to explore. And it would be nice if I showed you what I was talking about, right? So here we go. Here's the Bushu Trail, like I was just talking about. And yes, here is that photo that I was just talking about. Bear with me as I'm quite new to doing this. So here is just a little bit of peace and serenity that we felt there. Ray and I just loved being there. It was so peaceful and so beautiful every morning and every evening. And it was just so calm and quiet and serene, and it was just us for most of the time. We did get to spend some time with my uncle visiting and with my cousins as well, but for the most part it was just the two of us. And I mean, these moods that we experienced there, it was just so peaceful. Just birds and nature, and you can just see it's just us and a bunch of trees. So it was just, exactly the type of environment that we love to spend time in. So I would absolutely love to go back. And of course, I'd love to hit it right at peak fall, because we were there for just about a week. And towards the end of our visit, it was like just starting to turn. So if we had gone, maybe a week later, it would probably be like, just on fire. Maybe a week and a half. I don't know. Like probably right now, it's just like boom. But what was I gonna say? It was just still, it was so, I mean, yeah, I guess we couldn't have gone any later because we had all these plans, which is not how we really like to travel, but sometimes you can't always do exactly what you want. So anyway, we did really enjoy our time there. I would have stayed for a month. It was just so peaceful. And so I just love that look of the mist and the fog in the morning, and just the peace and serenity of that place, and also just the nostalgia of being there, and then getting to enjoy it from a whole new perspective as an adult, and sharing it with Ray as well. So it was just really nice. It was a really good time. So here's just a little bit of where we were staying. And there's my Uncle Bob. So shout out to him, and thanks for letting us stay. And there's the old family house that's been in the family for generations. And he is restoring it, which I believe I mentioned in the previous episode of this show. So can't wait to see how that turns out. Maybe by next year, if we pass through the area again, it'll be ready for, I don't know, visitors, family, and whoever else might pass through. And I wanted to show this. So there's my dad, and there's Bob, and yeah, just crazy how similar they look. And yeah, it was really tough for me because it's almost like talking to my dad. I could get emotional. I might get emotional. Yeah, just that's all I'll say. Can't talk to my dad anymore, but I can talk to Bob. So Ray did some droning of the Delaware River, which is what this is. And my uncle also has a property there as well, and so we stopped by there, and Ray did some drone footage, which was really cool just to see the Delaware from a different perspective. And this is before we did a little bit of a canoe paddle the next day, I believe, or a couple days later. So there's the van parked over there, my uncle's property. But it was really cool just to see the river from this different perspective that I'd never seen it from before. That one's just a photo. Then another couple bits of footage here. This one was kind of fun, just seeing it take off like that. And then just sometimes it's cool to see just how small you are in these environments. And also just to see them from a fresh perspective like that. And for me to see this place that I had been to so many times as a kid, and just from fresh eyes and a fresh perspective. And of course, like Ray had never been there before. He'd been in surrounding areas due to birding and photography. His job took him to like similar areas, but not specifically Long Eddy, because I think unless you have family or are from the area, you wouldn't be going to specifically Long Eddy. It's a very small town, but it's got so much beauty, as you can see. A little bit of drone footage. Oh, and then this one, he followed the tracks a little bit, the railroad tracks. So yeah, Ray's been playing with the drone footage a lot more recently, and I think it's so fun. I haven't played with it because the last time I played with my drone, I kind of sunk it into the marsh, so I'm not really comfortable playing with it. But yeah, even he used it to follow, like I was driving down a road and he had the drone following us like as I was driving, so that made me a bit nervous, but everything was fine. So I just trust him. I just try and stay calm as possible, but I do get a little bit nervous sometimes when he's doing these maneuvers, but what can I do? So it's always really cool to see the footage and see these places, like really it's just from a different perspective that you can't see just from where we are, where we're standing. So here is just the Wounded Bear Lodge. That's where we're staying, where we were staying in Long Eddy. That's my uncle's property there, the lodge. And a couple more morning shots there. It was just so beautiful every morning. And then this was in an afternoon when Ray was doing some work. I was enjoying just some afternoon time out in the woods there. And then my uncle had this photo still of my sisters and I from, I don't know, it looks like maybe I was in like 3rd or 4th grade. And I was like, oh man, I was an ugly kid. So there's my sister Logan, Nikki, and then there's me. So pretty funny. And then here we are at the Boothshoe Trail. So we got a beautiful sunset. We hiked up probably, I think we started about 2 hours before sunset. And yeah, it was beautiful because we hadn't seen the view there yet, and so it was really nice to see it. And then Ray actually brought the drone. He hiked with the drone. So he did some droning there as well. And this was just really cool to see. The trees were creating some really cool patterns. And then, yeah, once again, it would be real, like you can start to see some trees, just starting to turn to that fall foliage. But this one was really cool. Woo! But yeah, I love the textures of the rocks here. And just having us kind of minuscule in the landscape. It's just really, really cool. And just once again, disappearing into that landscape and seeing this place in a whole new perspective, and also sharing this place that I'd been to so many times as a child and just with family, and sharing it with someone who's soon to be family in a totally new way. So, and also just very bittersweet. Just a place that's so special to my dad, knowing that he would love to be there and for us to be there, and just hoping in some way he could know that we were there. Just such a beautiful, beautiful place. So I was definitely feeling all the feelings there. Really happy to share it with Ray, and really longing for my dad to still be able to be there. There we are on that little rock. When you see scenes like this, you think like, yeah, your problems in life don't really matter, you know? That's how I feel anyway. You're just a tiny speck in the world, so why worry about anything, really? And the other thing too is like Ray had been having a rough day and just feeling like so much pressure of like his to-do list kind of building up. And then we came on this hike and we had that view, and then he was doing this droning too, because he was the one piloting the drone, and he was just like, oh, I just feel so much better. Yeah, so it's just like nature, getting out in nature if you're ever feeling stressed, if you're feeling overwhelmed. And it's just like, nature is so healing, just to be out in these green spaces and spending time in vast open spaces, and just like breathing in the fresh air of the trees and getting outside of your head, right? And just like taking in these landscapes. It's like connecting with something outside of yourself is so powerful and so healing. Yeah. And sharing it with a loved one is always beautiful too. So the next day we did a paddle down the Delaware River, which is also something I did many times as a kid, both in a canoe and on a tube. Beautiful puffy white clouds that day. Also, this would be great to see in that peak fall foliage. But still very grateful for what we did get to see and experience. And I was just like so happy to be there. So happy. It was so beautiful. Oh, here's some rapids. It was pretty fun. Saw a green heron. We saw a couple of birds. I forget what else, but it was really cool to see a green heron. Like, I didn't know herons were around. Of course, I wasn't into birding as a child, but it was really cool to see that heron.
India.
There I am paddling. Felt like Pocahontas. So pretty. You hardly have to paddle this river because there's so much current, so you really can just float with the current. So it's kind of nice. You can just lay back and relax. I think this one's another video. course, I was filming with my iPhone 11 at the time, so not that great of footage. But then later that day we went to Red Rock, which I had also been to so many times as a kid, and it was just so, once again, just joyful to see that again. We used to play in this brook, I guess you'd call it, all the time as kids, and yeah, just the nostalgia, and also just appreciating the beauty of this place now as an adult, just like soaking in the beauty of it and sharing it with someone who also appreciates that beauty of nature. Just really special. I think this one. Then that night, we're about to go to sleep. So Ray and I go to sleep early. So this is 9:07. We go to sleep early, and there was a moth in between our screen and the door. Ray's like, I'm not going to be able to sleep like this. So he's like, all right, I'll let it out. And so he gets dressed, whatever. He goes outside, and he's like, oh my gosh, the stars are incredible. And it's so funny because my uncle texted me like, oh, the stars are incredible. I'm like, what stars? Because we're always like going to bed super early. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll come outside and see. And then you could see the Milky Way with your eye, because there's, no cities around there. It's just like, what do they call it? No light pollution or whatever, very dark skies. So this was just a phone shot, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how to tell. But yeah, this one I think is just a phone shot. And then this is with the camera. I mean, just like stunning. So we did a couple of shots. There's one with the van. And yeah, it was just incredible to see. Just like, wow. Really, really cool. Oh yeah, that one had the shooting star. I mean, it was just like really, really, really cool. And also, like, man, we should stay up late a little bit. But at least we did get to experience it, Yeah. So that was that. And then, yeah, I think that was our last morning there. And then later that day, we drove to Delhi, I think it's called. And my friend, who I met in Guatemala two and a half years ago, lives there. And it was only an hour away from Long Eddy. And so we made a plan to meet up, and so we drove over to her, and we met up and went to this park and enjoyed some cacao. She brought some cacao, and I thought it was so cool. The cacao had like this iridescent colors in it. So I tried to photograph it. I got some out of focus ones, and then I did get some like in focus as well, so you could see the bubbles. And I just was like thinking it was the coolest thing. But yeah, it was so delicious. I hadn't had cacao in a long time. And then I also haven't seen my friend, her name is Tuva, since, what was it, February of 2023. So I don't know, 2 years, right? 2.5 years, something like that. So it was just so beautiful to reconnect. And we spent the afternoon together, like 5 hours or so. So it was just really, really nice. And just like such a coincidence that we were only an hour away, and that it's so convenient to be able to spend time and meet people along the road, like just the way that we live. So it was really, really nice. I had a great, great time just catching up on life and just spending time together, sharing stories, and just, yeah, in beautiful friendship and beautiful connection and reconnection, and it was so wonderful. And Ray got to share some time too. He had 2 appointments that day, so he kind of bounced in and out of sharing time with us and work. But yeah, it was just so wonderful, and yeah, just another really nice part about living the way that we do. And then later that day, we stayed in this in New Jersey at a same place that my mom and I stayed 3 months ago in June on our way to Newfoundland. So that was pretty cool too, through this service called Harvest Host. And it's just these people's homes that basically they are travelers as well, and then they open up their homes to other travelers to park at. But yeah, in the morning we got this beautiful sunrise, and just these swooping fields with this hanging mist, and it was just so beautiful. Great way to start the day. And later that morning, I met up with my other friend from high school, Becca, who I haven't seen properly in like 10 years. And so we spent the day with her. We did a hike called the Stairway to Heaven, which was a bit more challenging than I think any of us were ready for. It was very rocky. So the hike itself was, it was, I think it was only like a 3-mile hike or something, but it was straight up, and it was just really, really rocky. So really technical hike. And, but it was worth it. The view at the top, totally worth it. Beautiful view. And it was just great company, and everybody, yeah, it was just great to see Becca and catch up. And then we went to Masker's Orchards, I think it was. We picked up some apple cider donuts and apple pies, and then went and got lunch as well. So that was really, really nice. And once again, just a beautiful thing to be able to connect. We were supposed to connect in the city, but we, decided to not go to New York City because she lives in New York City. And she luckily, thankfully, graciously met us outside of the city because it's just so much easier for us to not go to the city. So yeah, I took some pictures of trees. And got met up for lunch afterwards. And then we made our way to New Jersey, where there was, which Vineland was where Ray's from. There was a host of packages waiting for us. And, we celebrated Janine, Ray's mom's birthday, early. Her birthday's in a couple of weeks, but it's going to be her 75th birthday. So that was nice. We were able to celebrate. Stacy flew in, his sister, to celebrate with us. We did some more kayaking. Spent a day out on the river. It was like the hottest day in the last 2 weeks, 87 degrees, sweltering. Went out to dinner. And okay, so that's the picture photo weekly update. Let me go back over here. And what else? So yes, we landed and had a host of packages waiting for us. Janine had placed them all on a chair, and it was like a little bit embarrassing because we had just ordered so many things. And Ray and I said, like, oh my gosh, we go 2 months in Newfoundland, Canada without ordering anything. And then we get back to the States and it's just like, buy, 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 buy. It's just kind of like, materialism. It just makes me a little bit sick, but I'm part of it. This is new. My pants that I'm wearing are new. And it's just like, all right, whatever. Also, these here are new. So it's we ordered new business cards. So we ordered ones for each of us. So it's like I got these, Emmy on the road. And I got 10 different designs. So like 10 of my favorite photos that I've taken. So I've got this. I've got pelicans. I've got a cormorant and the moon. I've got, of course, some puffins. What else? Some intentional camera movements, some waves. Sanderling, of course, and a jellyfish. We've got a snowy egret, low country. What else? Caddo Lake, some stormy skies. We've got a painted bunting, obviously. And a wading willet. This one's always a fave. And then, my new logo. So those are exciting. They're really nice quality and soft to touch and everything. Really, really nice. Then we also got some joint business cards. So you got Ray Hennessy on one side, Emmy on the road on the other side. And these guys have the two of us on the back. 10 designs as well. So we got us canoeing in Oregon, our engagement day, Newfoundland, us in White Sands, us in Oregon, beautiful view, Newfoundland once again, Jekyll Island, beautiful place, more Jekyll Island also, Northern Lights, why not, Mount Rainier, Newfoundland, Newfoundland, our favorite place, and Texas. Where's that? Big Bend National Park. So yeah, it's a little bit about what we've been up to. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I'm going to mention. Oh yeah, passport. I'm heading to Costa Rica in 6 days. I'm really excited to do this women's retreat, and yeah, so hope to get another, maybe I'll do these week and a halfly instead of weekly, and gonna work on my Bushu Trail hiking video today, and just putting out content, try and put out every day and be a content creator, I guess, and see how that goes. So wish me luck, because it's a lot of work. And thank you for following along, and I hope you enjoyed this weekly update.